Today we're going to talk about lesson 3.6, rational numbers and decimals. And that just means that we'll be doing word problems that have fractions and decimals in them. So the first one, a mechanic cuts a 48-yard piece of pipe into two pieces of equal length. Which expression does not represent the length of one piece of pipe in yards? So I want to take my 48-yard pipe and cut it up or divide it up into two pieces. So I'm going to just look at which one of these answer choices doesn't work, and that's the one I want. So that's the same right there. 48 divided by 2, that's the fraction way to show that. This one, remember that the 48, that's what goes in the house, the 2 outside the house. That's the same as this fraction right here, top number inside the house. So right here, D, this last choice where the 48's outside, that's the wrong answer, which is the correct answer for this. This is like the one that doesn't represent how to do the problem. So looking down at the next part, a mechanical engineer took 175.2 hours to complete a task. Another mechanical engineer did the same task, but it took him 4.44 times as long. Which equation shows the amount of time it took for the second mechanical engineer to complete the task? So this times as long is a hint that it's going to be multiplying the 175.2 and the 4.44 together. And these two problems are about division. So I can already pare down my multiple choice to 50-50. And all I need to do is just physically in my calculator type 175.2 times 4.44. And whichever of these is the correct answer will be the answer that's right for our problem. So 175.2 times 4.44 is 777.888. And again, you want to put this in your calculator and just double check, make sure that you understand how this works to make sure that it's right. An electrician cut an 8 and 13-yard cable into 5 and 5 37th-yard pieces. The expression below shows the amount of pieces he has now. So right here is the math expression. Which other expression can be used to determine how many pieces of cable the electrician has now? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is that when I'm dividing fractions, that I need to turn it into a multiplication problem. And you might remember that vocabulary video, the keep, change, flip, that's the action. So we're going to keep this, change the division into multiplication, and we're going to flip this second fraction. And that's how we'd go ahead and multiply it if we were doing it by hand. So I'm going to look down through here and see if this is any of the choices. Yeah, right here, that matches. So I know that these two match. Now, if I wasn't sure, if I didn't remember that keep, change, flip, wrap from vocabulary, then I could just put this in my calculator and write down the number, that whatever I got, and then do the same thing for all of these and just write down what each of these would be, and the one that matches would be your correct answer choice. Got 3 more problems to look at. Oh, right there we go. A fountain is located at 28 1/4 feet due east of the pavilion. A bridge is located at 9 3/4 feet east, or due west, of the same pavilion. What is the distance in feet of the fountain and the bridge? So the best way to tackle this is by just drawing a picture, because then you can just kind of really see what's going on. Right here, this is my pavilion. There's nothing special about it, just pavilion. And then 28 1/4 feet due east. East is this way. I have a fountain. So we're just going to pretend that this is a fountain. 28 1/4. And then the bridge is located 9 3/4 feet due west. So that's the opposite direction. Here's my bridge. So they want to know the distance from the fountain to the bridge, and I can see really clearly with my picture, oh, I just have to add the distances up in order to get my answer. So go ahead and put that in your calculator if you need to pause this video to make sure, but I get an answer of 38 feet. Leah made 10 1/4 cups of lemonade and 11 1/2 cups of coffee. Altogether, how many cups of lemonade and coffee did Leah have? So altogether, that's a word that, hey, I need to add. And again, this is a good time, like write it down, throw this in your calculator, and make sure that you can get the correct answer of 21 3/4 cups. Last one, a groundskeeper placed an order for 18 1/4 tons of mulch. He calculated that his first project would require 11 1/2 tons of mulch. How much will he have left over for his remaining projects? Leftover is a word that means subtraction. So 18 1/4 minus 11 1/2. And again, you could just throw this in your calculator to get your answer, but I want you to make sure that you know how to hit those buttons to get 6 3/4 tons. There's one more thing that I want to say about this. So if you're working in Get More Math and you get a problem that involves a fraction and a decimal in the same problem, Get More Math wants you to give the answer as a fraction. For me personally, like on a piece of paper, I wouldn't care if you gave me the fraction form or the decimal form, whatever. But Get More Math specifically wants the fraction form of that answer to earn your smiley faces.